Hello, and welcome to the Crypt of the Necromancer. I am Jimmy D, and with me is Necromancer. How's it going?
I'm quite well, and yourself?
Yeah, going good, going good. Watched this week's episode of The Mandalorian. That is season 3, episode 7. They call it Chapter 23. And what was the episode called?
I really don't care. It was Bo-Katan with a show with a bunch of other stuff that happened. I mean, by now
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. We had hope for season 1 and season 2. Season 3 has gone off the cliff as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, so I'm guessing you're only watching out of obligation to continue the reviews. Is that what's going on?
Well, kind of by now. I mean, yeah, I'm curious for a little bit of Star Wars interesting stuff. And there was a bit of interesting Star Wars stuff happening in here, but there was also a lot of bleh.
Yeah, yeah. Well, look, spoiler-free review. I think this is probably one of the better episodes we've had this season. You do get a lot of story progression, a lot of action, which is always good. Lots of good fun, and there are real stakes in this episode. And I think that what happened is last week I just finally came to terms with the fact that, just like you said, this is no longer the Mandalorian show. This is the Bo-Katan show featuring the Mandalorians.
And that's why that's why I would say it's bleh,
Yeah.
because it's there's no way out of it now. That's what Disney's decided to triple down and quadruple down on. Oh, the Force is female, and that's what they're trying to pull with Star Wars. Um, Obviously, they're shunting out and they're keeping away Pedro Pascal. He's stuck with his mask. It looks like they're trying to do that to him on purpose. I don't know. An argument could be made that, oh, well, that's what the character is supposed to be. Okay, fine. But you're parading Bo-Katan and her Mandalorians taking their masks off. That's for her show, the Bo-Katan show. Don't take over the last season of Mandalorian and make it, in fact, the Bo-Katan show, which is what they've done. So obviously the Mandalorian is not really going to be coming back. I mean, really, you could have a stunt double wearing his armor and call him the Mandalorian if he guest stars in somebody else's episode. And Pedro just has to phone in his voice, right? But you're going to have the Bo-Katan show. You're going to have Is That So? Show. That's her name is Japanese for Oh, Is That So?
Bo-Katan?
Ahsoka. Ah means
Ahsoka.
oh. So means the situation is so, and ka is a question. It makes it into a question. So her name, translated to English, is literally Is That So? So the Is That So show, starring the very hot Rosario Dawson. And so I might watch it because it's her. She has the same reaction on me that Jerry Ryan has on you. Wow. Let's see. And then who else? Oh, yes. Ray Palpatine is coming back for some more movies, which I'm not even going to. So
I wouldn't put any stock in anything Kathleen Kennedy has to say at Star Wars Celebration. None of these films has yet been greenlit. And to greenlight a film doesn't mean anything other than you can start work on it.
But that's an interesting question. Did she parade out anybody else for any of the other announcements?
No,
because I never paid attention to anything that
it's a
Kathleen
KK power
Kennedy had to
play.
say.
It's typical of what has been going on. Like if you go to Midnight's Edge, I think it was Stompin' Tom Connors Jr. or Tom Connors Jr. Sorry, Stompin' Tom Connors is a Canadian folk singer reference. On Midnight's Edge, he had a list of all the films that have been announced for since the sequel trilogy, and all the projects that have been announced, and 3 or 4 of them have been completed, and there is a list of about 13 or 14 others that just didn't go ahead. Like she even talked about Kevin Feige's project. That Kevin Feige, they announced on the Star Wars website that Kevin was going to be doing a Star Wars film. And Kathy said, "Oh no, that wasn't really ever going to happen at Star Wars Celebration. Not at Celebration." When she was interviewed by the chick at IGN, I don't know if you saw that interview.
No, I don't pay attention to anything that has her in it at all.
She's a professional liar. That's what she's doing. So she's just doing the standard JJ thing. How many times have we heard about Star Trek 4, the fourth Star Trek movie that was going ahead, that had been announced, had been greenlit, and it was underway? I mean, JJ announced this, and the freaking, Chris Pine had no idea that he was actually going to be in another Star Trek movie. When they interviewed him, he said, "No, I don't have any information on that."
JJ Jerk is another person that I won't listen to at all. So
yeah. They're just stirring the pot. They're just stirring the pot to see if anything rises to the surface that they can sink their teeth into. That's all it is.
Loads of shit come floating up out of the batch of wine.
That's it. Yeah. That soup has got lots of turds in it now. It doesn't matter how much you spoon around the turds, according to what's his name?
It's still turds.
Nielsen from the Nielsen ratings.
Right. It's still turds.
Yeah.
Still
Mr. Nelson.
There you go.
It's funny though, when we go back to this episode, I was just listening to the Nerdrotic Nooner with Chris Gore and Gary Beekler from Nerdrotic. And Chris Gore said, "Well, the Mandalorian, it never really specifies who the Mandalorian is. Maybe it's like the Jews." So it's like, oh, he's a Jew. Oh, he's a Mandalorian. So it could be anybody. And that was his funny argument. I thought it was hilarious.
No, definitely not. When you make a show that's centered around the man in armor, gaining his armor, gaining this little guy to protect, no. It's about him. It's about Din Djarin. It's not about anybody else.
It's like we said, it's supposed to be about the man with no name.
Would
you recommend this episode to people?
Well, yeah. I mean, I was really disheartened with the fact that, he, trying not to spoil too much, at one point he does say, "Oh, I'm serving you, Bo-Katan."
Yeah.
And at that moment, I said, "Okay, we're done. Stick a fork in it. It's done."
Yeah. Okay. Well, with that, let's get into spoilers and let's review specific parts of the episode that we liked or we had problems with.
Yeah. At that moment, Mandalorian is over. Just like it jumped the shark with Baby Yoda's backflip over the kid he was fighting.
Now, for those of us, I remember the episode where the fawns jumped the shark. But for those of us who don't know what jumping the shark is, that's kind of entered our modern vernacular because so many shows have been doing it lately. What does it mean to jump the shark?
Well, at the time, Jaws, the first movie of Jaws, was massively huge. As far as I understand it, it was like the first major, super major, ultra hit blockbuster to hit the theaters. Now, there obviously before that, there were plenty of movies that came out that everybody was talking about and everybody had to go see.
Gone with the Wind.
Things like that, right?
The biggest movie of all time. Most tickets sold.
Exactly. But I was in first grade at the time Jaws came out, and everybody was talking about it when it had come out. So, of course, it seemed to be a couple of years later, that this television show, to keep the ratings up, I suppose, they went to the beach, and this cool motorcycle guy who's wearing a leather jacket, wears his leather jacket on the beach to stay cool, which is ludicrously stupid. Who would wear their leather jacket on the beach? It's ridiculous. Yeah. And then at some point, he's taking his motorcycle and he's going to do an Evel Knievel jump, because Evel Knievel was also big at the time. And this guy is going to jump over an actual shark in the water. Because Jaws had been so big, sharks had occurred in the James Bond film.
That's right.
A few years earlier. I'm thinking Never Say Never Again, but that was a remake of the same film.
It was the voodoo one.
No, it wasn't.
Live and Let Die, wasn't it?
No, it was before it. It was Sean Connery, actually, who had he was down in the Caribbean and had some sharks around him.
Was that Thunderball?
That might be. It might be Thunderball. Yeah. Which was earlier. Anyway, so this Fonz jumps over a shark with his motorcycle, and just watching the amount of cheese in that episode, how cheesy, how ludicrous. That's when, that's it. This great sitcom Happy Days is done. It's over.
Yeah.
It's the good parts are behind it. Now it's just trying to get ratings, desperately trying to hold on to large ratings. So once a series takes a left turn veer into like Weirdsville and crap and cheese and garbage, that's when you say it has jumped the shark.
Yeah.
Some
I'd say
people
this series has done that. I'd say it did that.
Yeah.
Probably the second episode where we're with a doctor for 40 minutes. No thanks. But this episode opens up again with a character that, I don't really care that much about. This, whatever her name is.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh.
The MMA fighter.
Yeah, the MMA fighter. Looks more like a dude.
They're trying to replace Gina Carano with.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, I very much like the probe droid. So, I happen to like the addition of that. Nice little bit of fan service, but she subverts expectations. She's a double agent.
I have to wonder where she is. If she's on Coruscant, what are their, Coruscant is the capital of the New Republic.
Mm-hmm.
How are there probe droids that aren't being discovered in the capital of the New Republic?
Absolutely.
Because probe droids are not, you wouldn't describe them as inconspicuous in any way, shape, or form. So this thing is bloody conspicuous. It's clearly Imperial. And if she is in the bowels of Coruscant, which is where I expect she is, where is this thing hiding? Anyway,
I mean, they could have shown the lower levels, which was a fictional. I believe it came from Timothy Zahn originally. The fictional lower levels of Coruscant, where nobody goes, right, where the underworld lives.
I think that's what they're going for here, but they haven't really pulled it off.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a way, way, way underworld below
like
the
subterranean
layer of smog.
Yeah, that would make more sense.
Where nobody but the destitute go. Yeah, a different world.
Yeah, and then here, look, what have we here? Oh, check it out! It's discount Darth Vader without a helmet. Oh, for fuck's sake! Jesus Christ!
Sparty cloning cylinders, one would assume.
Yeah.
A little bit of kudos to introducing Captain Palion.
Yeah.
The Timothy Zahn creation.
Well, I would say kudos, but I'm not too keen on where this is going because, the Heir to the Empire is a Luke Skywalker story.
Mm-hmm. Which is now going to be hijacked and given to a powerful female, even if it's a hot one.
Even if it's Ahsoka. Heir to the Empire is a Luke Skywalker story.
And there's been some talk that the actor who plays the Winter Soldier could pull off Luke Skywalker.
Oh, he so could.
I think he could, and that's what he should be doing.
Sebastian Stan.
That should be his story. It should not be, is that so's story.
Yeah. Is that so? I love it. Oh, boy. Yeah. So, we're doing our Star Wars thing here, I guess. And this is a Dark Council by the sounds of it. This is the remnant of the Imperial, what we would refer to as the Imperial remnant in the Zahn stories, in the Heir to the Empire stories, led by, there we go. It's called the Spies. I don't know who the Spies are, though.
Yeah, I really don't care who the Spies are. I mean, that's what Disney has done to Star Wars for so many in my generation. We simply don't care.
Yeah,
we don't care. We cared when it was Luke Skywalker fighting Vader for a good reason. We'll care if it's Luke Skywalker having to fight a reincarnated emperor in the Dark Horse comic series, Dark Empire, I think it was called. Don't recall, but it wasn't a bad story. But what they're doing now, no, thank you.
Let's talk about what they're doing now. So IG-11 has been repaired.
Oh, more shark jumping.
More shark jumping. That's right. Oh my God. I have to admit, I did think it was cute. I did think this was quite cute, but at the same time, I thought it was repulsive.
Giggling. Yeah, my wife was giggling at the baby hitting yes, no.
Yeah.
cute.
You
Apparently,
can watch it
he's
once.
the 50-year-old child cannot say yes or no.
Well, yeah. I mean, look,
All right.
yeah, they're going a bit far with this thing. But it's so silly because they think he's their cash cow. They must think that he's their cash cow for merchandising. And yes, maybe, but don't you realize how much more money you could make? You know,
If you
start
combine the
releasing,
two of them,
$400 really finely detailed Luke Skywalker post Empire, 5 years after Empire. So go see how many of your geek fandom is going to buy that. If you make Luke part of your story, if you make Han part of your story and change his outfit a little bit, the Han Leia wedding freaking action figures. Are you
yeah,
kidding me? Mara Jade. Bring Mara Jade out and do a really highly detailed bust of Mara Jade. Get Karen Gillan to play
absolutely.
her.
Yeah.
Karen Gillan would make a great Mara Jade. Oh my gosh. She's got that kick-ass attitude that I don't know if you've watched any Doctor Who, but her Doctor Who run with her and Matt Smith, oh, mate, she is just excellent. She's got serious acting chops. You could see why they chose her in Guardians of the Galaxy. Just excellent for action. Amazing. And she's got attitude, like sassy Scottish attitude. She would be a perfect Mara Jade.
So she
Very
plays
good.
Nova, does she?
She plays we're talking about Guardians, are we?
Yeah.
No, she plays the blue chick, Gamora's
Yes,
sister. What's her name?
that's
Nebula.
Nova. Oh, sorry.
Neb-
Sorry, I thought it was Nova.
yeah,
Okay,
Nebula.
Nebula. Yeah.
Yeah.
She'd make a very good Mara Jade.
Oh boy, wouldn't she? And then you would triple or quadruple the money you're losing for crying out loud, and make it instead.
Exactly.
But,
if you're not making the money you could be making, then you are losing it.
Yeah, that's right.
That's something they don't seem to understand.
Yeah. This is a funny little bit, and I do love the Star Wars humor. So yeah, it's a funny little bit, even though it is very creepy to see this thing walking around in a murder droid.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. He's just eating, of course, because that's always funny watching Grogu eat.
Yeah. Now it's very, very nice to finally have a Mandalorian scene without Bo-Katan taking over.
What? Bo-Katan standing in the middle of all the Mandalorians, telling him what's what?
Yeah.
We'll have a feast. Well, what are the others going to eat? They can't eat. They got their freaking helmets on.
Exactly.
It's stupid. It's gone to the point of ridiculousness, isn't it? So they decide, we're going to go find this great forge, right, on Mandalore. And I'm going to take the entire fleet and leave them in orbit at Mandalore, because, that's not a strategically unsound decision to have my whole fleet in one spot. Well, I go scout out the planet, which is conveniently out of communications because of electromagnetic interference or magnetic interference. Yeah. It's contrived. It's contrived to the point of groan.
Right.
Groan.
Absolutely.
Like, what's the conflict going to be? What do we think the conflict is going to be? Well, something's going to happen, and they're not going to be able to communicate. Either something's going to happen to the fleet, or something's going to happen to Bo-Katan's scouting party, or something's going to happen to both. And it's going to be so transparent. I almost wish you would subvert my expectations, but in an intelligent way, rather than this way.
Maybe the Mandalorian will become the prince consort of Bo-Katan, one would hope. With the way this is going, that's the best we can draw out of it.
Yeah, I guess we should talk about that scene here where he says, "That's why I serve you," right? That's here, isn't it?
This is about as romantic as he's ever gotten.
How does he say? Yeah, it's something along those lines. I don't remember where it is.
He basically, I don't even know what you would call it.
Yeah. He mentions the qualities that it's not about the Darksaber, and that's not why he serves her. Yeah, why does he say it's because of honor and integrity or something else? Something along those lines.
If he does serve her, then that removes him as a romantic partner. So,
yeah,
that's what we need to understand with that. A little bit of that went on in Game of Thrones with people serving the blonde.
Cersei?
No,
Oh,
the
yeah.
other
Khaleesi.
the dragon. Yeah, the dragon
Yeah.
queen. So
Khaleesi.
yeah, it was a little bit of vomit inducing.
What do you think about this here, where the other Mandalorians show up in their kind of sail barge?
Okay, sure, whatever.
Yep.
It's not so bad.
Yep, not so bad. And then they're emaciated. I think they picked really good actors here. I really bought into these two guys on the left-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else keeps their helmets on, of course, because they're all voice actors, or extras. So we can't get them to take their helmets off, because then we have to pay them more money. So yeah, but I thought these two guys were pretty good. I don't know where this guy on the left. I think he looks familiar, but I don't know what I've seen him in before. Something maybe where he was younger. But they really did well to get grizzled looking guys and cast the parts well. You know?
Decent look, yeah.
Yeah. So visually, and I think that's pretty much the case with most of this stuff. Visually, it's all quite good.
Visually, it's pretty good. I'd have to
Yeah.
say, this episode was visually stunning. It was really good, especially with what's coming up.
Yeah. So Paz Vizsla and this guy have a disagreement over the rules of this game, and so Paz Vizsla being the it's either we're off or we're on. There's no middle ground with Paz. Either you're his enemy. I think he might be a Sith. Either you're with me or you're against me. Only a Sith deals in absolutes. Paz Vizsla. So he challenges the guy because the guy won't back down. Says you can't move your piece like that. And they have a fight. Boom. And Paz is just mopping the floor with this guy who's a bloody idiot because he's fighting with his helmet off again. So we have another repeat of the last fight in the last section. It's punched in the face by a gauntleted hand, a guy who's, outweighs him by about 50 pounds. He's clearly just throwing him around, It's just silly. It's just silly. And we know who would have won.
Certainly.
Boom. You throw a guy like that. He's $180, and this other guy's probably 230, 240 pounds. Trust me. You know it when you're fighting a big guy. Yeah. So, ho-hum.
A little bit of ludicrous.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But, they get through it.
Once you become a fighter, something like a board game really doesn't matter if you win or lose.
Yeah, that's true.
I think.
Yeah. Unless you're using it as an excuse.
Could be, yeah.
But if you're using it as an excuse, you're not much of a fighter. You would just say, well, I have this problem with you, and you're a fighter, and I'm a fighter. We're going to fight about it. Then you fight about it. And then, of course, I've heard about what's going on in the writer's room at Lucasfilm. And there's a whole bunch of, each episode has a whole bunch of boxes that need to be checked. And one of those boxes is dinosaurs.
Oh, brother.
One of those
boxes. Another box that is no Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, one would be no Luke Skywalker, no references to Luke. Because where's the dinosaur, right? Where is it?
Yeah.
Here it is. There we go. Dinosaurs.
Oh,
looks like an Ankylosaurus hybrid because it's got the big ball tail. There it is. Right? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Ankylosaurus?
Well, different people will say different things.
How do you say it?
Well, I would say it that way, but I've heard Ankylo.
Yeah.
I have heard that. Oh my God. It sounds
emphasis.
like Kylo Ren.
Douchebag Kylo.
Yes. So from now on, the animal's name is Ankylosaurus. And I think Star Wars is going to be making Zilch really soon.
Oh, yeah. I'm with you on that. How are they going to salvage this? I mean, we're episode 7 out of 8, and I'm not going to watch it because I want to watch it. I'm watching it so I'm prepared to review it.
Yeah, I'll watch it because I have to, because there's some Star Wars in it, because there were a few interesting things, but it stopped being The Mandalorian episodes and episodes ago. Yeah,
pretty much episode 1. When he went to visit, well, I'd say when Bo-Katan rescued him twice in the 3rd episode.
That was it.
In the 2nd episode, we didn't see him for most of the episode anyway. Anyway,
so
let's see. So here we are. We found
We
the
have a
Great
nice-
Forge.
Yeah, we have a nice shootout
Yeah.
with what looks to be
Stormtrooper Mandalorians.
Yeah, so I immediately thought of clone troopers with their jetpacks, a few of which occurred.
This guy
Nice.
escapes.
Yeah, nice shootout little fight. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I love Paz Vizsla. I love he's
Yep.
just like the tank.
not bad.
Do you remember Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Future?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about when you just said that. I mean, I didn't watch it nearly as much, I'm sure, as younger people at the time.
Yeah.
I just saw it in passing.
Yeah. He just reminds me of Tank. Yeah, he was an awesome character. And what a good concept for a show. But I guess, not everybody bought into it. And, oh, well, if you're planning on merchandising being your key and then not selling enough merchandise, well, I guess that's the end of your series, isn't it? Yeah. So they they find that they are in an Imperial. The Imperials have been here.
I did have to say that I found these troopers looking rather disturbingly like The Force Awakens.
Oh, I see where you're going.
Yeah.
I know just where you're going with this. And
They
don't
better
forget,
not
we
keep
had
pulling that.
on the Dark Council, we had Hux as well.
Is that
we
a
had
character?
Hux's dad or something. So here they are. They see it's an Imperial base or an Imperial outpost of some sort. We have TIE interceptors. I always loved the TIE interceptor.
Very nice, yeah.
Right? And, of course, they get trapped between two doors. And the first door goes down, and they just stand there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Discount Darth Vader. Not imposing. I want to reach through the screen and rip his lips off. And then Din Djarin gets caught.
Who could fight his way out of all kinds of nasty stuff before, can't fight his way out of this one.
Can't fight his way out of this one. What do they call his little missiles on his wrists? Something birds?
Apparently they've forgotten that.
Yeah, they've forgotten how to use those birds.
Or they take it off of him.
Well, they take it off later.
They'll take off of him, which he doesn't even use.
Yeah, just contrived garbage. No thanks. Like if he's injured, that's a different story. Like if he's shot in his arm, whatever, but he's perfectly fine here. He's just wrapped up. Yeah, if he's been choked unconscious, different story. If he's had blunt force, applied to his helmet, knocked him unconscious, different story. But yeah.
Go back to the first season and check that out.
Yeah.
If you want the real stuff, first season.
It's not consistent. The only thing consistent with this season is that it's been consistently bad.
Yeah, I'll be watching season 1 and season 2. I won't be bothering with season 3 at all. I'm not coming back to this.
Discount Darth Vader says, take him away to the debriefing room. Right, the debriefing room. Debriefing room is where you talk about how your mission went. Yeah. Let's take him to the debriefing room. Jesus Christ. Such garbage. And then Paz Vizsla gets a hero moment, which I thought was excellent. Because all these freaking Mandalorian stormtroopers, he just blasts the shit out of them and beats the shit out of them directly, right?
And then we have 3 characters that look very disturbingly, like
these
J.J. Jerk's series of films,
Praetorians. Now, for me, I didn't quite do it.
Yeah.
Man. When he starts getting stabbed, he should have taken one of them with him.
Yeah,
he should have taken one of them with him.
This is bullshit. How do they? If a lightsaber can't get through Beskar, how can they have a weapon that does? If you're gonna pull bullshit,
that goes through the armor, doesn't it?
No thanks. That's bullshit. That is bullshit.
So, he needs to take them out. Bullshit. I don't agree with that. Yeah.
If you're going to pull bullshit, people are going to walk away from your show. I'm going to walk away like the Praetorians are doing.
Clink.
Bye-bye.
Anyway.
There goes your show. Clink.
There goes your show.
Bye-bye. There goes your fans walking off.
Yeah.
Good work, Star Wars. You screwed up again.
And that is the end of that. So, now that I've reviewed it with you, because I only watched it the one time, right? And I thought, oh, this is happening, that's happening. Oh, okay, whatever. But now that I've gone over the episode again, and maybe I'm being unduly influenced. Maybe you're influencing me Maybe you're an
Yeah, yeah,
influencer.
maybe.
I'm starting to really not enjoy the episode as much as I did. At first, I thought it was the
Okay.
best episode we had this season.
Hmm.
I
Uh,
wonder now.
do
I
you
wonder.
really care when Thrawn is introduced? Because you know
Oh, does
who's
that
going to
happen?
beat him. You
Do
know
we see the back of his head
Ahsoka's.
or something?
Well, when he does get introduced eventually, I mean, they're all talking about Thrawn, so he's going to be showing up. The best way to tease him will be sometime during the next episode, right?
Look,
Um,
unless they
do
do
you even
something.
care at this
Okay.
point? I,
Well,
uh, I've got such a bad taste in my mouth after this episode.
well, here's the thing. So I agree with that because I don't think Favreau is so involved anymore. I think Favreau has been, if there was ever a civil war, I think he's lost it.
Hmm.
I don't think Kennedy is leaving anytime soon. Her big ally is back in the form of Bob Iger. I think that the fact that they killed off the character that Favreau voices is important.
Yeah.
I think it's symbolic. I don't know that it means that Favreau has been pushed out, but also you look at the quality of the episodes compared to. I mean, there were some good episodes, season 1 and season 2, and the best episode, the best Star Trek or Star Wars, pardon me, moment since Obi-Wan and Anakin had their battle on Mustafar. You know, when Luke Skywalker shows up and he's the guy who destroys all the frickin' the Dark Troopers to come save Baby Yoda.
Yep.
Right? Probably the best Star Wars moment since Anakin and
Since
Obi-Wan had their battle.
Anakin and Obi-Wan, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so Favreau had a hand in that. But then you look at the quality of this season, and it just doesn't compare. It's like they're different TV shows. It's like it's suffering personality disorder, and the dark personality is winning.
Absolutely. If he's here and he's doing this, he's been severely interfered with. If this is all his doing, then I don't know what the hell happened between season 1, 2, and this season.
If it's all his doing, then he's not the person we thought he was. Or he just doesn't care anymore because the fight, he knows it's a losing battle while KK is there.
Yeah.
And so why is he going to bother? Because they undermined him incredibly with, getting rid of Gina.
Getting rid of Carano. Exactly. Right? Yeah.
Why is he going to bother?
Yeah.
So a bit of a downer. This is a pity. So I hope you enjoyed the downers complaining negative stream. But it is what it is.
Good Star Wars, we're going to absolutely crown it. The final episode where Luke Skywalker appears, aside from the girl power leading up to it, girls are all storming the bridge. Woo-hoo. Yeah.
Well, there's some girl power I can get behind. Like Gina Carano is going to be the one storming the bridge, and she's complaining about her freaking rifle not working.
Yeah.
I thought that was good. She's having challenges. She's having issues. She's not girl boss.
That's fine. Yeah, that's really good. But this contrives so that it's all girls storming the bridge.
Yeah.
Girls only. When you contrive things like that, you screw your story. You take people out of your story.
Well, yeah. I mean, we go back to what we said last week. Disney is very good at marketing to girls, and so that's why they acquired Marvel. That's why they acquired Lucasfilm, so that they could have boys' products and start marketing to boys and increase their market share. How's that going for you?
Now it wouldn't. Yeah, exactly. Now it wouldn't be fair either to have just men storming the bridge. When I was a little kid, I noticed that in the original Star Wars movies, there's like one female, Leia, and that's it. Right? I mean, Aunt Beru gets killed really quick, but how many other females were there that you really noticed in the first film?
No,
none, because none of them were important. The Empire Strikes Back. I don't think there was another female aside from Leia. If there was, I don't even recall who it was. So it was quite imbalanced in that way. Finally, you have Mon Mothma, the big, strong leader who's leading the rebellion in Return of the Jedi. Okay, finally.
Yeah.
And you have a female pilot or two, I think. But
I think I remember some of the Rangers on Endor, or at least one of them was female.
Okay, well, see, I don't even recall that. So, Yeah, certainly you should have mixed characters, mixed gender in characters, and there are two genders. Um, men and women, because
Yeah, but
it's
there
no
are
problem.
six. Hang on,
It's
there are six disorders. There are six disorders which cause some form of hermaphrodite. I'll give them that.
okay, and I'm sure that's a huge number of people.
Yeah.
How likely are you to come across such a person in life? I haven't yet that I know of. So,
No, not that they had. Well, I mean, it's not really polite conversation, though, is it?
no,
The first time you meet somebody, or rather, it wasn't, but now it is.
but now,
And also regarding, how standards have changed. Back then, there were no women in our military.
that's true, but how hard is it to point a gun and shoot, right? So if you have a laser pistol that doesn't have any recoil, anybody could shoot that.
Yeah, yeah. A weapon is a great equalizer, like we say time and time again.
Exactly.
So,
I mean, it's really cool to see the huge Gatling gun that our big our big Mandalorian is carrying. But why does it have to be so big? I mean, you don't need a long focusing chamber. This long tube. Why would you need
dissipation? Because if you
Heat
have more
dissipation,
barrels,
yeah.
yes, if you have more barrels, you can. If you have 5 barrels, you can fire 5 times as many rounds before your rifle shuts down due to overheating.
Okay, that's with shooting a bullet. Apparently, these guys are shooting what, purely energy, or are they shooting particles? I mean, you'd have to start getting into that technical kind of stuff, which I don't really.
Yeah,
really
but I mean,
know much about it.
That's what happens to Paz here. Is his
gun
his
overheats.
firearm overheats?
So, what kind of things are they shooting? It's not clear. Fine, it overheats. All right,
it isn't clear. No.
All right.
No. Anyway,
we'll give him that.
Yeah. So anyway, having said all of that, we should probably wrap this one up. It's been what quite a while we've been at it. Anyway, so watch it. Sure. I mean,
yeah, watch it.
I don't know.
Decide for yourself. Do I want to see this again?
Are you a masochist?
I don't need to see this again. Yeah. For the action part, I might go straight to this action part and watch it over again to see the lovely interceptors close up. Terrific. To see his heroic moment, sure, he's great. To see those red Praetorians or whatever they are come out, no thanks. I'll skip that.
Not at all.
It's just crap.
To see Din Djarin get captured like a chump, no thanks.
Not interested.
No hero moment for Din Djarin.
Yeah.
No.
Bullshit.
Yep. Okay. So tell us what you thought. If you like the episode and think we're crazy, let us know. If you agree with what we said, let us know. We'd love to hear your comments, and we'll respond to your comments below. Like, share, subscribe. That would be awesome. And
we'll be
catch
excited by the next episode. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, yeah. We'll see what happens for the finale, eh?
Exactly.
See how it goes.
Hopefully they're going to change my tone. I would like to have a tone very much changed.
Anyway, the next couple of days, expect to see our Picard review drop. And apparently I have heard spoilers, not many spoilers, that this is one of the best episodes of television that somebody has seen in the last 10 years. So we'll find out if that's true or not. I haven't watched it yet. Have you seen it?
Nope, not yet. And
when does it drop for you?
It's dropped last night. So I'm hoping that... when I do see it, it's going to be the polar opposite of this episode here.
Well, I mean, this season pretty much has been so far, hasn't it? Mm-hmm. To our surprise.
Yeah.
It's done the opposite of what we expected.
Absolutely. It's done the opposite, and we're not impressed, and we might be walking off like those Praetorians.
Yeah.
Well,
we will catch you next time, eh?
Take care and live long and prosper.